Here's what happened to me before the accident, or BTA. I'd been so focused on going to the new bakery after school for tasty doughnuts that I'd almost forgotten it was my turn to do the show and tell. What should I talk about? Good question. I could pick 1. My excellent crisp packet collection. I'd shrunk some of them down to turn into really small badges. They all looked brilliant, if I do say so myself. 2. The very old toys. In really ancient times, before there was TV, Mum used to play with these old toys that she keeps in a box. The teddy has a string in its back that you pull. Then, in a growly voice, the teddy would say,
I'm hungry. Rrr. Will you be my friend? I'm a bear. I love honey.
I got a shock when I first heard it, because the voice sounded just like my Auntie Alice first thing in the morning.
Morning, Tom.
There's also this metal wheel toy that's pretty nifty. You push up the handle really fast to make the wheel spin round. Then blue and red sparks fly off the wheel and it looks amazing in the dark. 3. Or I could bring the Dude 3 poster that was signed by the band. I found it in an envelope on Delia's bedroom table. I don't know why she hasn't put it on her wall. If it was my poster, I'd be showing it off to everyone. Look at my poster! I sat and thought about my show and tell for a very long time. Crisps.
Honey, please.
Dude 3! Then decided to take the Dude 3 signed poster and the crisps for backup. My plan was to borrow the poster and bring it back the same day. That way, Delia would have no idea that it was gone. I'd tell everyone in my class all about how amazing Dude 3 are. Marcus would probably disagree. Dude 3 are so-so, but then he'd be wrong, obviously. All I'd have to do is avoid bumping into Delia so she wouldn't start asking awkward questions like, "Is that my poster you've taken? How many crisp packets do you really need?" I slipped the envelope with the poster inside under my sweatshirt and squashed the crisps into my bag. Then I walked past Delia confidently. She looked at me and said nothing. Phew. I waved bye to Mum and Dad, then went to meet Derek, who was waiting to walk to school together as usual. The first thing he said was, "I can smell crisps." It's my crisp packet collection for show and tell. I opened my bag to show Derek, and he nodded his approval. "That's genius, Tom. Do you remember when Rooster was my show and tell in school?" How could I forget? The whole school talked about nothing else for weeks after Rooster's visit. Everything was fine until the last lesson before lunch. Mr. Keane was heading to the staff room with a sandwich in his hand. He popped in to say hello to Rooster, who thought the sandwich was for him. "It's an easy mistake to make if you're a dog," I agreed. "I've never seen Rooster jump that high or run through someone's legs so fast," Derek reminded me. Rooster surprised a lot of people that day. Even Mrs. Mumble got a visit, I told Derek, then laughed. It had taken Derek ages to get him to come back. Rooster was having too much fun. Everyone wanted to bring their pets in after that. At the next school council meeting, Pansy suggested we have a "Bring your pet to school day." Mr. Keane said no, not surprisingly. Instead, he put up a Pet Hall of Fame notice board where we could pin pictures of our pets up, which wasn't the same thing at all. Right now, it's covered with pets that I'm not sure actually exist. There's a picture of a tiger, a shark, and a woolly mammoth. Even Mark Clump doesn't have a pet like that. Or does he? Back to the show and tell. Most of the kids in my class had already done theirs, although Julia Morton had forgotten it was her turn. Whoops! And when Mr Fullerman asked her to start, she just grabbed the first thing on her desk, a pencil case. "Off you go, Julia. Tell us all about your pencil case, then," Mr Fullerman told her. I wasn't convinced this show and tell was going to be very interesting. "I keep pencils in my pencil case." No kidding. "And pencils are useful for drawing."
keeping hair out of my eyes. And you can knit with them too, she explained.
Really? At this point, Marcus put up his hand and announced to the class, Tom can knit, can't you? Oh, yes, you can, Amy had joined in. Sort of. Only a scarf, though. My granny taught me, I tried to explain, while Julia demonstrated how to use a pencil to hold up her hair. It worked, too. That's not something I'll ever be able to try, Julia, Mr Fullerman had joked, pointing to his bald head. Then Julia had showed us some of her drawings, which were excellent. It was impressive how she'd come up with all those things to do with pencils so fast. Pansy Bennett was up next.
This is a Venus flytrap, and it eats flies, she said.
Straight away, we all had questions to ask.
Will it eat your finger?
Or your whole hand? How big does it grow? Where can I get one from?
Do they come from space?
Pansy answered most of the questions, then took out a small dead fly to demonstrate how to feed it. The two sides of the spiky flower head slowly curled together to trap the fly inside. Ooh! Everyone wanted a Venus flytrap after watching that. It's on my birthday list already. Pansy's show and tell was going to be a hard act to follow, but Dude 3 are an excellent band, and I knew Delia's poster would be a good way to start telling the class how amazing they are. I stood up and took out my envelope and was all ready to go when Mr Fullerman said, Sorry, Tom, we've run out of time. You can do your show and tell tomorrow. OK, sir, I'll be ready, I told him, and immediately got so excited about going to the bakery that I left the poster behind. I'm hoping Delia won't notice it's missing yet. Tom, did you take an envelope from my bedroom? Delia is staring at me sternly with her arms folded. Uh-oh. I point to my foot. How could I? Before you did that, it's got something very special inside. I don't think so, I tell her, keeping my eyes on the TV. Right, you won't mind if I take a look in your room then? Go ahead, I say confidently because I know it's at school. Delia stomps upstairs and I can hear her opening drawers and searching around my bedroom. I just hope she doesn't find anything else I might have borrowed. Sunglasses, Rock Weekly. Now feels like a good time to do some doodling and ignore the sound of Delia searching. I'm going to draw something on my plaster cast. After all, I've got 6 whole weeks to fill it up. I'll draw something fun and delicious. Like
a flying caramel doughnut.
I can't stop thinking about doughnuts.